Welcome to the Mouse Bros podcast. Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm his brother Randy. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at the Mouse Bros. We'll be releasing new episodes every Friday, so make sure you subscribe to get the latest podcast. If you have any suggestions for upcoming shows or just want to say hi, you can email us at mousecabrospodcast@gmail.com.
If you're planning your next Disney destination or Universal Orlando vacation, you're going to want to reach out to me, Ryan Noppinger, with Capture the Magic Vacations. You can reach me at ryan.noppinger@ctmvagent.com. This is a no-cost-to-you service to use me as your travel agent. I'll make sure you get the best vacation package or deal for your whole family. I can also help make dining reservations and plan fast passes to make planning your Disney vacation less stressful and more magical.
On today's episode, we're going over some of the best kept secrets of the Magic Kingdom with our new series, Behind the Magic. During this series, we will explore each park, talking about our favorite best kept secrets, and it will be fun. All right.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Today, we're going to do Magic Kingdom. So Ryan and I have each compiled, 5 of our favorite secrets. It was hard to make a list of 5 just because Disney is known for just having like a throwback, callback, something with an attraction.
Yeah. There's so many.
It's just ridiculous. So there's a lot.
But we picked out our favorites, and I think it's a solid list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how this episode goes.
Let's see.
All right. So I'll start off with my first favorite secret. Walt designed the park so that when you pass from land to land, you don't see the others. If you were in Liberty Square, you can't see Fantasyland due to trees, buildings, and there are distractions in each land, such as the waterfall for Liberty Square. The noise from the waterfall actually keeps you from looking to like your left to see the other lands. And I don't know if anyone's like really ever noticed, but the pavement even changes from land to land just to give you that feeling that you are going into a different place, which I think is cool.
And you mean the water wheel?
Yeah.
Not
what
the
did I say?
Waterfall.
Did I say water? No, there's a big. No, right. You don't know about the waterfall.
Have you ever been to Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, it's the one that has
that hat-looking thing.
the hat thing, right? Doesn't it got the big volcano in it?
You might be right.
It's close.
Yeah.
It's the one with the globe, right?
That you got it right on.
There it is. That's right. So that's a fun fact. It kind of makes me think of Liberty Square. Ryan, did you know that like Liberty Square is actually built to date? Like it's built how it would be built when it's placed. I don't know what the year is. I know it's like 100 years ago or something.
Yes.
But like, did you actually know that?
Yes, I did know that.
So like 2 fun facts I think about this. This is a little off topic. Is that there are technically no bathrooms in Liberty Square.
That's correct.
So like all of the bathrooms in the restaurants are actually so far like back in the restaurant that they are technically considered to be in different lands, which I think is crazy.
Use the outhouse.
And then all of the window shutters actually are also all hanging at an angle. Did you know that?
I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not.
So when next time you go to Liberty Square, look around at all the like windows on the upper story. They're all hanging at an angle. That's because during the time, the Britain stopped shipping over metal things because we would take anything metal and melt them down and use them for bullets. So with the shutters, they always had like a metal holder thing to kind of hold them in place so you can open and close them. A metal hinge. That's the word. English. So we actually, in America, took the hinges off the shutters and just used leather to hold the shutters up. And, leather's going to loosen, so the shutters would normally be at an angle.
I'll have to look next time.
So that's a fun fact. I don't know. It's just that type of detail that Disney puts into building, doing anything, like to their attractions, land, a Disney-owned restaurant. They just put the amount of level of detail that they put in, it's just unbelievable. And like, if you don't know everything, doing the research, it's just like, I can't believe Disney thought about that.
Yeah. I mean, and I know we can go off topic on tons of these because then it leads on to another thing that's interesting on another thing. But to your entire point, the streets are kind of like this cobblestone brown, and that's to resemble literally people throwing their bathroom waste out into the street. So
right.
That's what the street looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just it's just something that like you don't think about, but then when somebody tells you about it, you're like, oh yeah, like that makes sense. I'm glad they did it that way.
Yeah, and these are just a couple of things in Liberty Square. That's the smallest land out of them all, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your fun fact?
So to move on to mine, in the Magic Kingdom, you'll rarely see a Frontierland cast member walking around in Tomorrowland. Most cast members arrive in their own clothes and then check into costuming to pick up their costume for the day. When going on breaks or etc., they use a tunnel system under the Magic Kingdom to travel between lands to not ruin the effect of that land, which is, again, just awesome. So the Magic Kingdom is actually on kind of the second floor, and then on the first floor are what they call the tunnels or the utilidors, which are, from experience, I have been down there from the college program, are just absolutely awesome. Yes, it's a full working city pretty much with everybody moving around and electric go-karts pretty much everywhere to travel because it's so big down there to walk it all, even though that was my job when I was down there was to basically walk it all.
Yeah.
I had a bike once, that was really fun. I probably shouldn't have had a bike, but
it is fun though.
But
you don't regret it at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah, I'm actually excited because for Katie and I honeymoon, we are doing the Keys to the Kingdom tour, and on that tour, we'll actually go down into the utilidors.
Yeah,
and that's
they
super
do make
exciting.
a stop around there, and what's I guess cool is the tour gets you kind of in the utilidors, kind of right under Main Street, but the utilidors stretch all the way from Tomorrowland all the way out to Frontierland, and of course Fantasyland, and actually kind of the entrance to it all is kind of right behind Fantasyland there. That's where cast members enter to go into the Magic Kingdom. Yeah.
That's exciting. That's awesome. I'm excited to do that.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you got for number 2?
All right, number 2. When you are walking down, so this one actually, before I start, this one's probably more of like a well-known secret that like if you're like a Disney fanatic like us, this one's just like, yeah, that's a secret to some people. But anyways, it's still fun to talk about. So when you're walking down Main Street, take a good look at the castle. You'll notice that the bricks get smaller the higher up the castle goes. The Imagineers called this forced perspective technique. So the castle looks a little bit taller as if the bricks were the same size. So, you have a normal brick, and as that brick would, kind of increase in altitude, get taller with the building. I don't know why I said that weird. As like the building gets taller, the brick gets farther away from you, so it gets smaller. Well, instead of having a structure that's tall, you just get a smaller brick, so it looks like it's farther away, making it look taller. And I just think it's cool because Disney does that everywhere. There's so many places that use forced perspective to make things look bigger and look smaller.
And they do it so well.
Yeah.
Seamlessly.
Right.
It's not like it's a harsh transition. It's just there and you're, that looks like a building. Yep.
Right. Like if you are a Disney fanatic like us, like you will notice it on certain buildings, but if you don't really know about forced perspective, then you're just like, oh yeah, no, that castle is actually that tall.
Yeah, so then to move on to my next secret fact, Main Street USA also uses this forced perspective in their buildings as well. On either side of the street, kind of the first story is 10 feet tall, and then the top story is only 8 feet tall, which is, the way they use that forced perspective. This is not only to make the street look much longer when you're entering, but it actually, as you're leaving, makes it look shorter, which is, an interesting kind of eye trick. But then at the end of all that, it helps make Cinderella Castle look even taller at its 183 feet. And actually, there's only 2 buildings that do not use forced perspective on Main Street. Do you know what they are, Randy?
I want to say, I know it's the town hall. I know that's one.
Yes, town square hall. Yep.
And I know the reason that is built is to hide the contemporary.
Absolutely correct.
The other one, I'm not 100% sure. I want to say the firehouse, but I actually don't know.
So the train station.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And
that
that's
makes sense.
actually to block the castle, like on your way in.
Right. So like you kind of, yeah. So like when you're on the monorail, you kind of see the castle like for a little bit. And then, when you get off the monorail, you see it for a little bit more. And then kind of, you don't really see the full-on castle until you're at Main Street. And it's just like, wow, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I like that.
But I can get more into that on my next one.
Oh.
But what do you have for your next fact?
So this fact has to deal with the carousel. So there is one horse on the carousel that has a golden ribbon on its tail. And this particular horse is rumored to be Cinderella's favorite horse. There is some debate about this, and I think that's why it's like a cool fact, is just because it's not confirmed nor it's denied. It's more of like theories about it. Right. And like, I feel like another amusement park wouldn't have theories about their attractions. It just like goes to show how like special Disney is. So basically, Cinderella is depicted throughout books and paintings of riding horses. So with that, they say that she did pick a favorite horse on the carousel just because she likes horses. However, there's, people say that she probably wouldn't have wanted a horse on the inner row. And if she did pick a favorite horse, she would probably want it more decorated rather than just the gold ribbon on its tail. To that, what I kind of think though is like, does she pick an inner horse, one that's not seen, but because it's not seen or heard is so special, just like kind of how she grew up, right? Being the maid, being not the favorite child, being the one that the family hated, she got shunned from the world. So, but she was still, Cinderella. So there's that. In 2010, they did a name change from Cinderella's Golden Carousel to Prince Charming Regal Carousel. When they did this, they also changed the backstory. I don't know what it was or is. I didn't do that research. Deborah, can you get that? Deborah's got it.
She'll get it. Next episode, she'll get it.
Yeah, just remind us. Anyways, they changed the backstory when they did the name change, and they didn't mention anything about Cinderella having a favorite horse or whatever. So it's just fun, it's fun to have a theory on this. And what do you think about it?
It is cool. I mean, even anytime I ride it, I look for this particular horse because you want it to be real, right? So why not just be real? Yeah, that's how I think about it.
Okay, that really clears up the theory, right? Thanks for that.
Well, I mean, I think it is a true theory. I mean, whether it started from just a fan that was like, oh yeah, that's Cinderella's horse. Like, sure. I mean, I feel like Disney would have that, but I feel like they would also not say that it is her horse.
Yeah, I get that.
They would do both.
I get that. All right. So Ryan, what are your third fact?
Yeah. So my next one, there's a little bit of an after story after this one, but you can actually fit all of Disneyland into the Magic Kingdom parking lot, also known as the Transportation and Ticket Center, and still have room to park about 500 cars. So that just to give kind of an enormous kind of parking lot and whole setup for the Transportation and Ticket Center.
Now you're just talking about Disneyland, right? You're not talking about California Adventure,
right? Just Disneyland. Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Just want clarification.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah. But that just goes to the entire size of it, and to kind of picture how much land they had when kind of making the Magic Kingdom and Walt Disney World. Walt always said that he had the blessing of the land, and he could do what he wanted to do with Disney World, which is absolutely awesome. So then kind of to give the whole story, I guess, or the whole kind of roundabout way of, you were kind of, you hop on the monorail, you hop on a boat, and you just figure, oh yeah, this is the parking lot and Magic Kingdom's over there, but there's actually kind of a backstory to it, or, a point to it. So of course, you can see the castle from the TTC. You see it by boat or by monorail heading over to the Magic Kingdom, and you get views of the castle. When you get to Magic Kingdom, the castle, it's blocked by the train station, and then you go under the train station with a quote that reads, "Here you leave today and enter the world of yesterday, tomorrow, and fantasy." And then while you're under the train station, you pick up your park map, and then you see kind of attraction posters as a preview of what's to come in kind of your day.
Right.
And then you center yourself on Main Street, and that's when you get the beautiful view up close of Cinderella Castle. So there's all a point to it, which, I know that was a lot just to make my point, but
no, but yeah,
it's, there's a whole kind of story, a reason of why they present it this way.
Yeah, like everything is done deliberately. It's just this episode should just be titled "The Extra Level of Detail That Disney Puts In with Everything That They Do." So it's just incredible that what they do.
Yeah, it's quite awesome. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what you got for your next one?
Next one. So this one actually has to deal with the Haunted Mansion. So the top architect is very easy to recognize as a chess piece, with his chess pieces. The architect was famous for building structures that had chess pieces as part of its structure. I don't know why, that's just like what he did. When he was commissioned to build the Haunted Mansion, he put his signature and added some chess pieces on the top of it. Do you know what the only chess piece? So it has like every single chess piece like on the outside of it, which is kind of cool. Do you know what the only chess piece that is missing?
A pawn. I have no idea.
A knight, because inside it's always knight.
But
no, but yeah, it's a bad joke, but I think that's actually why there's no knight piece outside. Why this is on my list is because I feel like when Disney was kind of picking different architects, Disney decided, it was like, oh, well, there's this guy that put his own signature on it. Well, what if we get him to build this and we'll help him put his own signature? Like we'll help him design the Haunted Mansion so that he has his signature on this building. Just because it's just like the level of detail that Disney has in. Like a lot of the times too with characters, throughout their attractions, they'll name them or have some sort of callback to the people who built it. There's the famous Pixar callback with A113, and that's the animation classroom in California.
Cal Arts, yeah.
Yeah, Cal Arts. Sure. So like Disney and Pixar are known for doing these kind of putting their signature touches on them, kind of these hidden gems. And I think like this is just one of them that Disney was just like, hey, this guy has a hidden gem and he built Architect. Like he's the perfect guy to work for Disney, to work with us. I think it's cool.
Yeah. And again, kind of the whole, built for this park has just been like hidden stuff everywhere. There's hidden stuff for every attraction, especially the Magic Kingdom, because, I just think that there's so much magic there that they built all of these little things for that reason. Talking about a little piece of magic, which is pretty cool. So behind the castle, there's a fountain with Cinderella. And if you bend down while still looking at the fountain, the crown kind of on the back will line up over Cinderella's head to make her look like she's a princess, or that she is the princess that she is. And it's kind of a genuflect thing to bow then to the princess. But, being an adult, you have to bend down. So kids, when they use the water fountain, like that's all they see is Cinderella is as the princess. Yeah. Which is really awesome.
Yeah. I think it just like kind of plays with that, like plays with your mind that like kids are seeing this different and 100% believe that she is that she is the princess, but like in this fountain, and then it's just it's a cool detail that it was very thought out. That they didn't do this on accident. They designed that water fountain so that adults had to bend down to see the crown on her head, but kids always saw the crown on her head.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And other little known fact, I think that's still a very, very cold water fountain. Okay. Not that's that's a complete weird fact, I know. But if you're looking for a cold water fountain,
it's that one.
I'm 97.6% sure
that it's not 97.6 degrees water.
Yes. That it's not as hot as the Florida sun.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's fun.
You like it.
All right.
What do you got for your next one? Your last one.
All right. So this is my last one. So this actually has to deal with Main Street. So there are a few flagpoles with American flags on them. The flag on the main flagpole, which is in the center of town square, is always taken down during rainstorms and right before sundown. They have this big ceremony that normally has like some sort of veteran. It's a very nice ceremony. But the rest of the flags are not taken down, and that's because they're actually not real flags. So there's also other flags, and like there's a main flag in like Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and I think there might be one in Animal Kingdom. But they are taken down normally just after the park closes. There's not like a big ceremony for it, but the town square one here does have a big ceremony. So the American flags throughout Main Street are actually served as lightning rods. So they don't have to be taken down at all or tampered with. And how Disney gets away with that is that each flag actually only has 45 stars. So while it looks like a real flag, it's not a real flag because it doesn't have all of the stars on it.
Or some are missing stripes also.
Oh, okay. So that's fun fact that Ryan's adding.
Yeah.
All right. So, and that probably doesn't, some of you may say like, well, that doesn't make sense because lightning never strikes in the same place twice. That's also a lie and why it's designed the way it's designed. So buildings like the Eiffel Tower and the Empire State Building are actually used as lightning rods to, deflect the lightning or basically collect all the lightning strikes. That way the lightning strikes aren't hitting power generators or like, the city basically. So it's actually, fun that Disney designed something that is very useful into their design. But as, just from a regular civilian, you have no idea why they're there. You think they're flags to decorate Main Street, not to actually serve for lightning.
Yeah. And they're there in plain sight.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool, but they hide them and,
Right, the best place to hide something is in plain sight.
Yeah. That's where I hid all my money then.
Oh, I have not seen that yet. But when I do, I'll let you know.
Keep looking. Yeah.
All right. So what is your last one?
So my last one is about the TTA, which is the Tomorrowland Transit Authority, one of my favorite rides, and my wife's as well.
All right.
So the attraction was originally called the Wedway People Mover from July 1st, 1975 until the debut of New Tomorrowland on June 11th, 1994. Although the ride itself has been reimagined, but it's essentially really the same. The soundtrack has had several changes, but with some minor and some major kind of changes. So the WED part of Wedway is for WED Enterprises, and the original name for Walt Disney Imagineering, or WDI for short. WED is also Walt's initials, Walter Elias Disney, which is really cool. Yeah. So the next change in it was the modeled city that the TTA passes is the model for Walt Disney's personal vision of Epcot, even though I know sometimes the audio is a little bad there and it needs some upkeep to it.
Yeah.
It's cool that they have this kind of, well, it used to be like working, but now it's just a model. They used to have like the little cars on it to make it look like the monorail.
Yeah, or like the Carnival.
Yeah,
no,
it just seems like nobody's like kept up with it.
Well, I think the TTA in general is just not really upkept. Like they use it, but they don't update any of their scenes.
Yeah, I feel like they should.
Especially with like Tron, I feel like it just needs like a good overhaul. Like do something different in Space Mountain. Because like that section of the ride is just like darkness for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool if if you want to see what Space Mountain and how dark it is without actually getting on it,
and like kind of hearing the sounds a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But like other than that,
I think some of the scenes just need updated, like around.
Yeah, like the one where she's getting her hair did.
Yeah, and
like,
actually,
how long has that been there?
That's one of the other ones from this change.
Sorry.
That in the hair's salon scene, that there's actually a hidden Mickey on her belt, which is a fun hidden Mickey that you'll only see if you
ride it.
The ride. Yeah.
But like there's that one. There's the one with, I think, like the taxi is like in a tube, right? And the tube just like kind of shoots. So instead of like doing 60 miles an hour, the rocket in a tube can do, I don't know, 150 or something. I don't know. I'm just
sure
saying.
That sounds.
But like I'm just saying, like how long has that scene been there? How long has her getting her hair done been there? How long has that Epcot model been there?
Yeah.
It needs a little bit of love.
Yeah.
Not that that's what this episode's about.
I know, but we get off topic because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But hey, I hear. Do you have a bonus fact?
Yeah, you want to do our bonus facts?
Go ahead.
All right, I'll do mine. So mine's like really not fun. It's like it's a funny callback, but it's like not actually like oh wow, I never knew that. So it's not there anymore, which is unfortunate. But in the Frontier train station for the railroad, there was a wooden leg that used to be there. And do you know what it was called?
Oh my gosh, I know the reference, but I'm trying. Oh gosh, I can't think of the name right now. Go ahead, say it.
Smith.
Okay, yes.
So, and that's actually a callback from Mary Poppins when he goes, I met a man with a wooden leg named Smith. But what was his other leg called?
Yeah.
So at the train station, there was just like a bunch of stuff, like people kind of traveling, and there was a wooden leg there, and he had like Smith written on him. So that's my fun fact.
Yeah.
It's like a cool fact that it's not there anymore, which is sad because it is a throwback to a movie reference. Like it is a movie reference. So I wish it was still kind of there because next time you see it, you're just like, oh, that's funny because that's from that, and like keep walking. But now you just keep walking. You don't even look.
Keep walking. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's no leg there.
So Ryan, what's your bonus one, Ryan?
So my bonus one is going to go back to kind of the utilidors. So of course, again, the Magic Kingdom is on the second floor, and they actually use an entire kind of system to move trash around to a huge compactor behind Splash Mountain, and this kind of gets confused with. Maybe thinking of that the trash cans themselves, like, you walk down Main Street and that can right there, and that's hooked up to kind of this system. It's not. Those cans that are part of this kind of sucky system, I don't know what else to call it, but it's off stage. It's to where guests can't access. But anyway, the system, if you think of kind of a bank teller kind of tube that you use in a drive-through to send something to the teller, it's pretty much exactly like that, just scaled up a whole lot. But then actually through it, there's a couple of them. If I had to say, I think there might be like 20 of them throughout the park that's all connected to kind of tubes that go into the utilidor and then go to the compactor behind Splash Mountain. In the tubes, the trash is kind of, sucked in and going through the tubes at 60 miles an hour, which is crazy to think about. But, standing in the utilidors, it's actually very loud, and you're like, oh, wow, what is that sound? And then you realize, it's trash.
It's trash just being shot everywhere.
You're like, I hope that doesn't breach and just, pour right on me as I'm walking, to start my day.
Yeah.
Like, oh, is that somebody's unused popcorn? I mean, you can't really see it.
All right, yeah, that's all right. That's probably a good place to end this.
Was that a dirty diaper?
All righty
No.
then. All right, let's just end it here.
All right, we'll end it here. Well, if you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review as it helps us improve the show. And as always, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.